And so, what I don't want you to do is go through this Black Friday without any intention and then have buyer's remorse. The first question that I want to ask you is, does this purchase support my new life or goals? I just want to encourage you to don't lose your mind. Okay. Don't lose your mind and take a beat. Take a beat, breathe, and just ask yourself, is it really something that you want, or is it just because it's a market? Hey friend, welcome back. Welcome back to the Wellness Revolution podcast. I'm your host, Amber Shaw. Thank you for being with me today. So with Black Friday just around the corner, I thought that today we would dive into something super helpful for anyone who is looking to approach the sales season with intention. As many of you are newly divorced women, I know firsthand that shopping Black Friday and during the Black Friday season, which, as you all know, really starts at the beginning of November and goes all the way till Christmas. That's really Black Friday apparently now. But it can feel, as a newly divorced woman, it can feel a little bit different, right? Maybe who you're buying for this year looks a little bit different, right? Maybe your role during the holidays may look a little different if you are not, as not a wife anymore, as a single woman, right? I know for me, for years, Black Friday and that was kind of a stressful time for me for years, because that was the day I was in charge of doing everything for the holidays. And that was the day that it really kind of kicked off. And so I know that going into this holiday and into a Black Friday, you might be balancing maybe a little bit of excitement of maybe this year you're going to treat yourself with something. But you also may be feeling a little bit of financial stress, right, as we head into the holidays. And so maybe you are just wanting to be mindful of keeping things practical, right? And just, making sure that you don't overdo it. So today, I really want to share with you 5 powerful questions to ask yourself before you buy anything this Black Friday. One of the reasons why I wanted to do this episode is because going back to the financial stress piece of it, I know that whether or not you are, you have a good job, you're making money, you have support maybe from your ex, or maybe you don't, and maybe things feel stressful, whatever your situation looks like for you, I don't care what situation you're in. I do know that regardless, finances are a major stress for women coming out of divorce. I think it's the number one anxiety provoking thing that women go through, no matter what your financial situation is, right? And so what I don't want you to do is go through this Black Friday without any intention and then have buyer's remorse and then feel like you're going into, going into December and then going into the new year a step behind. So I just want you to be a little bit intentional. And these questions are really going to help you to stay a little bit more focused on purchases that genuinely serve you, and really bring a little joy into your life and maybe even a little bit of purpose. Even if you are feeling a little bit of scarcity as we roll into the holiday season, I want to just normalize that. That can be a very normal feeling, but it doesn't, as I always say, scarcity is definitely a mindset, right? We can choose whether or not we want to operate from a place of scarcity or from a place of abundance. And I think that even if you're trying to mind how much you are spending, during the holiday season, especially the Black Friday sale, right? I do think that there are little ways and little investments that we can make in ourselves that go a long way. Whether or not it is something, cute and cozy for your new space, right? Or maybe you've been debating on a bigger splurge, right? This episode really, I want it to be a guide for you when making those choices so that you just feel good about it. So we're going to jump right in and girl, get ready to shop a little smarter this season. So the first question that I want to ask you is, does this purchase support my new life or goals? And girl, I'm gonna tell you what, this does not have to pertain to like big purchases. You want to buy, girl, you want to buy that new makeup palette? Does it support your new life and goals of wanting to put yourself out there? If the answer is yes, girl, get it. Okay, get it. Now, listen, let me also just say this before we dive into this. I am also not promoting anybody be reckless with their spending. Okay, like let's be smart, right? You have to know your own budget. You have to know what you can afford. But I do think it's important that that you do treat yourself a little bit, right? So yes. So the very first question, getting back, does this purchase support my new life or goals, right? And so, as I talk about a lot. I know that divorce is incredibly painful and it can feel very traumatic. It can feel like a trauma, right? And for many of us, it is a trauma, but it can also be an incredible opportunity to really reinvent yourself or really dig deep and ask yourself hard questions and create a life maybe you never thought possible, right? And so it really can be an opportunity to also focus on what genuinely lights you up, right? What genuinely excite you up. So, when we think about some items that might align with your new goals or aspirations for where you're headed, maybe that means just getting some, new fitness gear that is on sale, right? Or maybe there's a book that you want to grab for a little personal development book, right? Or listen, or maybe it's actually just like a trashy romance novel because part of your goals is that you want to just spend some more like downtime with yourself, and that's okay too, right? Or maybe it's even something that can just freshen up your space a little bit. For me, I know one of the big game changers when I got divorced is because I stayed in the marital home. And that was tough at first. I'll never forget just like moving all of, his clothes, when he moved all of his clothes out and there was just like an empty closet there, like that was a hard moment, right? Or, sitting at the table and he wasn't in that chair, like that was a hard moment. There's a lot of hard moments around that. And so one of the things that I noticed for me that really helped was I did go in and make some changes to the decor of my house. And it's not like I spent millions of dollars doing it. Listen, it was as easy for me as just going to like freaking Home Goods, right? And grabbing maybe some new statement pieces. I actually did end up, putting together a little bit of money to redo my living room because that's where I spent a lot of time. I changed a little bit of things in my bedroom, just change the pillows on the bed, like not anything that was crazy expensive, but just made a few tweaks to where it started to feel a little bit like my space as opposed to our space, right? That was really helpful. So maybe there is something a little bit, maybe you're keeping your eye on something for your house that can make a difference. So I really just want to encourage you to avoid purchases that don't really serve a meaningful purpose in this new chapter. I just don't want you going out buying a bunch of shit just to buy a bunch of shit. As we know, that also can be a form of distraction. That also can be a form of like numbing out, right? You guys know retail therapy. And yes, that does have its place. I am a believer in retail therapy sometimes. However, we do need to do it, I think, responsibly. Otherwise, you end up having remorse and that's no good, right? And then you end up feeling bad about it, all the things. Maybe you have to take it back. It's just the whole thing. Let's just skip all that. Okay. So let's just, go about this with intention. So question number 2, will this item bring lasting joy or value? And I want you guys, by the way, to get a pen and jot these down, okay? Or put these questions in like your notes phone and your notes like on your phone. And when you guys seriously are contemplating a big purchase or a purchase on Black Friday or over like to Cyber Monday this whole week, and I think even just throughout the month of December as well, I want you to look at the questions. I want you to pull out your phone. I want you to look at these questions and check yourself, okay? So will this item bring me lasting joy or value? You guys know there's definitely a difference between like the short-term excitement and the long-term satisfaction, right? There's a difference between like the impulse buys and things that we put a little intention behind. And so I just really want you to think about, and I am the worst at this. Like my mom is really good at reminding me of like, oh girl, like, are you really going to use that? And actually my daughter Avery is really good too at reminding me about stuff like this. Just sidebar, where I'm the worst with stuff like this is with home appliances. I call it my appliance graveyard because down in my basement, I have everything from a freaking ice cream maker to a food dehydrator to a like magic slicer, like whatever it is. Like I always think that this and it's because I hate to cook. And so I always think I'm going to get like the magic tool that's going to like change everything. And it gets me all fired up and then I never use it. So I don't want that to happen to you. So I really want you to think about like how often you're going to use the item or like whether or not, like, are you going to get use out of it? Okay, girl, like seriously, is it going to bring you lasting joy and value? That is the thing. And let me tell you what, this can be so simple. Like some long-term joy examples are self-care products. I'm a big believer that makeup gives you long-term joy. I'm a big believer that, any kind of body sprays and lotions, those give me long-term joy. So it doesn't have to be that serious, but does it give you long-term joy? Even things like quality kitchenware, although be honest with yourself, if you're really going to use that food dehydrator, do you really need that one, right? And even like, or like a freaking cozy blanket, right? You're gonna get some long-term joy out of that. Question number 3, am I buying this because I really want it or because it's a good deal? Ooh, this is a good one. This is a good one. I personally am, now my mom is different, but I personally am somebody who I do like a deal, but it doesn't like doesn't drive my buying habits necessarily. I definitely know people, my mom is one of them for sure. I love my mom, but she's definitely one of them where like the deal, like she kind of loses her mind a little bit because it's a deal. And so yeah, like be honest with yourself. Are you buying it because it is a good deal or because it's like you really want it? Right. And you guys know, like, yeah, sometimes, especially like depending on your upbringing and if you're somebody who loves a really good deal, like you guys know that like it is like sales psychology that these stores use on us, right? Like that urgency, that scarcity, right? It can create pressure for us to buy shit we don't need. And that really is the truth. So I just want to encourage you to like, don't lose your mind. Okay. Don't lose your mind and take a beat. Take a beat, breathe, and like, just like ask yourself, is it really something that you want or is it just because it's a bargain, right? The next one, I just have a couple more I want to share with you guys. Will I regret not buying it tomorrow? Will I regret not buying this tomorrow? And this is where, I think going back to, mentioned like taking a beat. I really do think that sometimes like taking a step back and giving yourself a day. And I'm gonna be straight up with you guys. I'm not good at this. I'm gonna be honest. I'm not good at this. I always share stuff about my mom, but yes, okay, going back to my mom. My mom is good at this. What she does is she'll spend hours on her computer and like just like online shopping. And then she'll just put like all this stuff in her cart and then she'll just end up taking it out or just she'll sleep on it. And the next day she doesn't end up getting it. Or we'll go to like Target and I'll just be like loading up my cart and she'll just end up like walking around. My sister does this too. And they'll like load up the cart. And then by the time we leave the store, they've totally unloaded the cart. I am terrible at that. Okay. But don't take a note from me. Take a note from my sister or my mom, right? Like, do you really need to make the decision today? Give yourself a day to decide. You guys all know this, and this is just true with any life decision. You guys know that time often reveals whether or not the purchase is like a genuine hell yes, or if it's just excitement in the moment. So especially if it's a big damn purchase, especially if it's a big purchase. Like sidebar, I'll tell you a really quick funny story about this. So I don't know, this was probably about, 3 years ago. And all of a sudden, this is obvious, I was divorced by then, and I don't know what was going on with me. I just felt like, I think I had just broken up with the guy that I was dating, like on and off for a few years, and we had just broken up. And I don't know, I was just like feeling this like need that I wanted to like get it, like make a change. And so somehow I found myself at the Mercedes car dealership, and I got so overtaken by like the deal that they were going to give me that I was like this close. And if you guys are listening, I'm doing like a little millimeter with two of my fingers. Like I was so close to buying a freaking Mercedes convertible. And I just want to tell you how stupid that would have been. I have 2 kids. I have a big dog. I like to take road trips. Me in a convertible is the stupidest decision of mine. Like that would have been ridiculous. I mean, thank God, actually, the one that talked me out of it was my ex, Frank. And he was like, Amber, like, you should think about this. And we laugh about that all the time because I can be such an impulse buyer. And I think that obviously, thank God I was able to drive away and not buy the car because over time, and really just like the next day, I think even a few hours later, I was like, okay, yeah, that wasn't good. Okay. So yeah, so just give yourself a minute. I think that you can, definitely create your own little waiting list and then just take a beat and evaluate. Right. And then the last question that I want to share with you guys is, does this purchase support my current goals? Does it support my current goals? I know this is very similar to the first one, but I think the first question is more about like kind of where, like, does it support my new life or goals? It's just kind of like where you're at in life, right? Like just kind of your current life status and what that looks like. Obviously, like me buying me buying a convertible did not support my current life status, right? But this one, what I really want you guys to think about is, does it support your current goals? And what I mean by that is really reflecting on your goals financially, your goals spiritually, personally, professionally, relationally, all of it, right? Does whatever it is that you want to buy, does it contribute to any of these goals, right? And so, this is really, I think, important when we think about like, yeah, where do we want to be, financially in our life, right? Where do we want to be personally in our life? And is this thing that you are looking to invest in, does it support that? I got to tell you right now, this question right here is definitely what fueled me for wanting to put together my Black Friday deal that I have coming up this week. You guys, I am so freaking hyped for this deal because I know that there are so many women post-divorce, so many divorced women out there that really do have some goals around financial independence and really have some goals around really sharing their story in an authentic way. I know there's some women out there who really want to invest in themselves and creating their own business, and it's particularly their own online coaching business, but they really just don't know where to start. And that's exactly why I put together this coaching bundle, my Black Friday special. So just real quick, I just want to share with you guys, like this is like my ultimate coaching business bundle, because I am giving you with a combination of Renew You. So this is a program. This is my 8-week signature program that coaches women from how to take an idea, even if you not even sure what the heck an online coaching business would even look like for you, but how to go from just this idea or maybe a few ideas, and how do you take that all the way to getting your first client? And that's exactly what we're doing in this program. This is a step-by-step plan in this 8-week program to really nail your niche, to build your coaching framework, and really attract your first client. Seriously, in 8 weeks. I'm so fired up for this. But I am putting this together because I know that, like I said, so many women are ready to invest. They're just not sure where to start. And so with this Renew You, I've also got some crazy bonuses. And the pricing is by far the best tuition price that I offer for the entire year. I'm actually I only have 30 spots available at this Black Friday deal because it's so crazy. It's so crazy good. So I wanted to share that with you guys because, I think when we talk about spending money and investing money in ourselves, whether or not you invest money in yourself in a program like Renew You, like I'm doing, or it's something else, I really want you to start thinking about the investment number, right? The investment number about, what really is that how is that going to serve you, right? Like, how is that, start looking at it like an investment, I guess is what I mean to say, because I think oftentimes we just get stuck when we're thinking about investing in ourselves. We look at the sticker price and we just start comparing it to like what other things cost. But what I want you to have a little reframe is there is a difference between investing in something that's going to give you a return versus just spending your money on something. And so, I wanted to make this Black Friday deal such a freaking no-brainer that I am actually offering it for $497. And that's just, and there's like going to be a couple payment plans. Like seriously, I just want to make this such a damn no brainer. And I really want you to think about, like I said, whether or not it's Renew You or another thing that you're thinking about investing into. Maybe it's something else for your personal development, or maybe it's something else professionally or whatever that looks like. Like, don't think about it in terms of like, oh, well, this is costing me $500. Like seriously, think about it as an investment and being able to get that money back as a return versus, if you think about this, how quickly can $500 go? Seriously, think about how quickly $500 can go on the day to day. I mean, shit, I went to Starbucks the other day and got one freaking latte and it was $7. Okay, $7. I couldn't believe it. $7 for a latte. But so think about it, right? We spend $500 over the course of a month going out to eat and doing this and doing that. And so I really want you, whatever you decide this holiday season, this Black Friday season, to invest in. I really want you to ask yourself, like, does it support your current goals, right? And is this an actual investment, or is this just something you're spending money on, right? Is it an investment or something you're spending money on? And if you're investing in it, are you going to be able to get that money back? It's one of the why I love coaching business and teaching women how to create an online business of their own, because I damn well know that investment that they put in, they get that shit back and then some, and then some, and then some, and it changes your life. And so I got to tell you, for me, I wish I had an 8-week curriculum back then to really get me going when I created my online business. It would have saved me a hell of a lot of money and a hell of a lot of time. So super pumped that is coming. Just real quick to let you guys know, that is coming Wednesday. This Thursday, but here's the deal. If you guys know I've been sharing on the show that I've got a special Black Friday VIP list. Anybody that gets on the Black Friday VIP list, there's no obligation to get on there. But if you get on there, then you're going to get access to the sale a day early. And the reason why you want to do that is because, like I said, there's only 30 spots available at this Black Friday price. So you want to just get all the details first. And when you guys see all the bonuses that I have bundled up with this is why this is like the ultimate coaching bundle. I mean, you're getting everything. You're getting my program, Nail Your Niche. You're getting Reels to Revenue. I've got a couple money mindset masterclass. I've got a few other masterclasses in there. Like, you want to get this, seriously. So that's what I wanted to share with you guys. But listen, as we round this up, I want you to have fun this Black Friday season. I don't want you to get carried away. I want you to go about it with some intention, but I also just want you to enjoy yourself. And if there's things that you come across that answer these 5 questions, does this support my new life or goal? Will this item bring me lasting joy or value? Am I buying this today because I truly want it or because it's a good deal? Will I regret not buying it tomorrow? And does this purchase support my current goals? If you are able to look at it through that lens, I promise you will not regret whatever it is that you decide to invest in. So thanks so much for listening today, and I'll catch you on the next one.